Today, we're having Jeremy Barker on the podcast. Jeremy is the owner of Bathmatic Custom Tile and Shower Company. He's servicing North and South Carolina, I see from the sign over there. And I mean, other than that, Jeremy, if you could like elaborate on the introduction of yourself, that would be good.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Jerry? Thank you for having me. Um,
Yeah.
I'm just excited to be here. Uh, I run a premier bathroom remodeling company called Bathmatic Custom Tile and Shower. Uh, it's my wife and I. We're a family operated, small footprint business, and we've been doing it for a while. So I've been in the trades for a long time, and it's always been good to me, and uh, I'm just thrilled to have a platform to do custom work on, and that's basically where I'm at. We specialize in tile and high-end bathrooms. We also do plumbing, so with the combination of those two, it's a one-stop shop.
This episode is sponsored by Valverax. Valverax is a full home improvement company located in Charlotte, North Carolina, and servicing the surrounding areas. They offer services ranging from porch enclosures to additions to decks, patios, windows, roofing, siding, all the way to building a new home. If you're looking for any home improvement needs that you have around your house and you're looking to improve your home, give them a call. Number is 980-477-1783, or you can email them at office@valverax.com. And Valverax is spelled Valverax. You can look them up online. Again, give them a call at 980-477-1783. Thank you. So just to get the audience and even for me, kind of a little bit more background on you, uh, where are you today in terms of your career and kind of your life? Like you own the company, you started it. From the information that I got off of Facebook, you either started it or kind of like incorporated it in 2019. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 2019, I had the vision, so I set it into play, and I started building there. I'd been in the tile industry for a while, and I just wanted to kind of cater to custom work. So I grew tremendously since 21, and we've just merged the business more into um, design, consulting, and premier builds. We do a lot of training, and we do a lot of ambassador work for the NTCA and several of the big manufacturers. And I as well work for a manufacturer as sales slash technical representative. So I'm pretty wrapped up in the tile industry.
Okay. And so you've been in the trades for a long, long time, from the sound of it. What what was it like? Like if you go back, way back to your middle school and high school, what were you like back then?
I've always identified as a grinder, so my culture is grinding. I started out in the automotive detailing business back in the 10th grade in high school. So I worked for Auto Bell Car Wash during, normal hours. And then I had my own thing where I would detail afterwards. And that kind of grew into me being an entrepreneur. Uh, I introduced myself into the trades on the electrical side, fresh out of high school, 18 years old, went to do high line, power line work out of town. I'm from here, Charlotte. I went to Charleston, South Carolina, was doing power line work for South Carolina Electric and Gas. And that kind of led me into the landscape construction. So I got into irrigation, drainage, patios, pavers, grading. Then I got good at that, so I went into civil construction. Doing more of underflow, pavement, concrete, curb work. civil site work, and done that for some time. Moved the business back here. Specialized in outdoor living, like yourself, and irrigation. Done that for about 5 6 years, and then shifted myself into the remodeling business. Um, I was young. I transitioned. I cut my hand off with a chop saw, uh,
Mm.
2010. So I spent about 3 4 more years in the landscape construction business uh, after my amputation, and I just got tired of digging in the ground and the shoveling and carrying blocks and all that. So I got out of that and got into interior remodeling. So I was on a commercial base, and we would do bars, nightclubs, gentlemen's clubs, hookah lounges, uh, you know, custom ritzy atmosphere places. Done a lot of
Mhm.
bars and stages and DJ booths, stuff like that. We would go in and do everything, and spent years doing that. Got into tile work in the commercial kitchens, and that's what pushed me to be right here. Uh, as I traveled through the tile industry since 2019, I've advanced myself more into the education side of it and training other installers to raise the bar of their skills so they can get on a bigger level to help their business. That's my main goal, to get everybody up to par with what we're doing in the industry. There's no competition for me here locally. I want to help everybody. If I can help you win, that's what I'm about. So I love it.
Yeah.
And if I got a message for anybody that's thinking about doing this or is doing this, stay with it. You'll make it. It just takes time. We're just now getting to where we're near that 5 year hump, and it's a blessing, but it's been a lot of work.
Yeah. No, so going back to high school, I wanted to know a little bit more about, like, on the personal side. Who were you like? Like, were you outgoing? Were you more shy as a kid? Like, what was your personality like? What were your, like, friend circle like back then in school, in high school?
I'm just an old country boy, so I went to school with the kids from Lake Norman, and I've always been outgoing and energetic. I was an athlete in school, heavily involved in band and the arts and the clubs and all the stuff that was beneficial for life skills. You know, um, I always knew that I was going to work when I was younger. There wasn't a lot of me that believed that I would make it to college. I
Hmm.
really tried, but it didn't fit me so well. I shaped my skills as a craftsman. Always I had grandfathers that were uh, tradesmen and craftsmen, and a father that was a tradesman. So I grew up watching men work with their hands. So I always knew that I would end up there. Uh, I just tried my best to enjoy it while it lasted. But like I said, I've been working since I was 16 years old, and been working for myself since that long. Um, I probably got a top of 5 years total working for someone else in my whole career, and all of it's short lived. And when you want to work for yourself, you want to work for yourself. If you have a vision, you build the vision. Um, this is probably my third, fourth business venture, so it's been a joy growing. But as a kid, I always wanted to be the boss and
Hmm.
to strive for great things, and that's why my commitment is so strong to put tools in schools, because I feel like that I'm going to connect with the right young man and put him in the direction that he can make 6 figures a year right out of high school, going into the trades. And I love it. That inspires me. I mean, you as well. volunteer your time and you believe in it. And, I think we share the same vision, Jerry.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about put tools in schools in a little bit. I just want to kind of like set the stage of who you are, like where you came from, your background, and that kind of thing. Um, so when you were in high school, you mentioned your father, grandfathers, and so on. They were all working with their hands, and when it came time to kind of either find work or go to college, you mentioned you went into work right away. But what was your thought process like back then in terms of college? Like what were you thinking about it, or what were you being told about it, and so on?
Well, everybody encouraged me to go to college. My mama wanted me to go to college. Uh, my grandfathers wanted me to go to college. Nobody in my family had really, as a male, experienced college at that time. So it was important for everybody for me to go to college, but I just veered away. I was such intelligent with the trades, all around. I worked on my own vehicles. I built my own truck, when I was 15 years old. I was always splitting firewood. I grew up on the Rock and K Ranch and Northwest Charlotte. There's a lot of people are familiar with it. It's where the Little Rascals was filmed, Fred Kirby's ranch. So I grew up around cowboys and craftsmen, and to be a man, you had to work. So
Hmm.
working was always important. I knew how to swing a hammer, read a tape measure, build things. As a kid, it was second nature to me. So everybody was telling me to go to college. I really tried. My grades, my grades didn't show that I
Okay.
tried. So, like, I played sports. I was in the band, had a few scholarship opportunities, but they didn't match up with my academics. So
Hmm.
everybody was telling me, Jeremy, you got to really study. You got to stop skipping school to go to work. You got to focus on your studies. And I was like, look, I'm probably going to be working anyway. So might as well get a jump start on it and get myself started. And that's why I got
Hmm.
into the detailing business. You know, uh, Now I'm completely different. I see my kids, they strive, they do great academically, and I'm telling them, yeah, you're going to college.
Hmm.
You're going to go to college because they need to try. It's important uh, to get an education. If education don't lead you into the way that you make your money, that's fine. You can go into something else, but you can say you done it. I regret not going and getting the college experience because now in the professional and the business world, some folks look down upon me because I don't have the education. And I might not be book smart and credential smart enough to be amongst others that are educated that way. So I do regret it. And,
Hmm.
now we're talking about it like, my great grandfather, he quit school in the third grade. My great and my grandfather, he quit school in the ninth grade. So I had them teaching me. One's a painter and one was a mason. So I had them teaching me all my life, and they always told me, "Boy, you better go to school. If you know
Hmm.
anything, you listen to anything I say. You better go to school." And I just couldn't. I couldn't deliver on it, and I'm still apologizing to my mother.
Yeah. So okay, so you went kind of pretty much into work and trades right out of high school. What were your circle of friends or people that influenced you? Who were they? Like, what were they like, or what kind of influence did you get at that time? Like right around high school and just out of high school.
Well, all my buddies that was in our close circle, we all was going to work, but there was a few folks that did have the college opportunity, and I could say probably 8 out of 10 of those guys that went to college, they're back working in the trades. They have a degree, but they work in the trades. Um, so like it was a mixed variety where we were, but it was dominantly people that wasn't going to make it to college, that was going to go to work. You know, that either they were already working, they had plans to work, it was happening. They were going somewhere to work. I had entrepreneur friends. There was very few of us um, that struck right out of school and went into business for themselves. But some of these guys that did, they're really there now. They've
Hmm.
got great brands. They've set their foundation in the community. They do their money just as well as I do mine. And we're super proud of it, you know, looking back where we came from, because we were the kids that the teachers told us, you guys ain't going to ever make it nowhere. You know, if you guys don't change your attitude, you're not going to make it in life. And I've had opportunity to, you know, approach those same individuals and show them that I made something of myself on several
And,
occasions.
what were they talking about when they were talking when they were saying that, if you don't change your attitude, like what kind of attitude were they referring to?
You know, there was kids that had their mind made up on college and they made sure that they were delivering to go to college. And then there was us rebels that didn't care. We were
Hmm.
going to go make it one way or another. So, you know, the teachers and the people that seen us, they wanted us to change. They told me, they said, Jeremy, you ain't never going to have a good job if you don't buckle down and get an education and listen to us. And I just I didn't believe them, you know.
Hmm.
And it's it's definitely crosses my mind of what I could have been if I would have went to college. Um, but I was not a good kid, you know, like as far as academics, and you know I'd rather work and do my chores and build a brand. You know, that was
Hmm.
my thing. I had a cool concept with detailing cars, and I really believed in it. And you know, I would set up downtown Charlotte, and we would wash 30 to 50 cars a day. And we was making good money, so it didn't affect me. When everybody was going to college, they was like, "Well, I'm having $1,000 days out here in this parking lot. You guys have fun." And they're going and they're partying, and I missed out on all that. I wish I could have done it, but as far as the kid I was, you know, I knew that I could make money with my hands, or if I went to school. It didn't matter to me.
Yeah. So, what do you find most rewarding about your career, your business, or what you've done so far?
Basically, what I've come into, Bathmatic has grown so much. I've influenced the industry, the tile industry. The camaraderie is phenomenal. So I've got younger installers in, several states. I talk to on the daily or the weekly basis. I'm helping folks become better contractors. I'm honing my own craft. I'm working with my wife. She's found her passion in the industry. So together, we're a dynamic duo, and it's just so rewarding to be able to give back to the industry what we receive. You know, there's people that reach out and help me to get to where I'm at, and now that I can reach back down and help them. You know,
Hmm.
my whole mission, like I said before, is to help other installers advance their skills and their craft and their business uh, persona, I might say, to that next level where they can be profitable and build a brand that benefits their family. You know, that warms my heart bigger than anything. And, I do make good money doing what I'm doing, and we get to work on some cool projects. We get to work with cool people, and I do a good bit of traveling. So, being an advocate in the industry, it's it's always fulfilling when you can see somebody's growth and know. that you was there for them when they reached out. And there's others that see my growth and they help me. So that's my duty.
Yeah. Yeah. um, how have your values and priorities changed through your career or as your career progressed?
Well, I've always been the same. Uh, my heart's where it's at, and I was just raised right. You know, I've got good small town Southern values, and I treat all my customers like family. I fall in love with them. I actually treat them too good sometimes. Uh, and you know, as far as employees and stuff like that, um, I've been through the ringer with it. So company values has changed a bunch when it minimized itself to just the wife and I, and we got rid of
Hmm.
all the outsourced other folks, and we can really speak for who we are and what we stand for, and that's our motto. You know, we're just a small footprint, family owned operation, and we want people to feel value in what they get from us. And when they spend their money with us, they know that it's being spent well, and it's staying in the family. So I would say my mission's always been the same. My values have been the same. What I've educated myself with along the way of dealing with folks in business has definitely been crafted and molded a long way. So you live
Hmm.
and learn how you deal with folks. And I've got some customers. They call me. I'm in the truck in the middle of the night, whatever they need. I've got some customers that I'll need to provide paperwork and get a deposit from before I move. You know, and I've learned that how to temper yourself and basically articulate yourself in an appropriate manner for each individual circumstance, but have the same morals and values that you share all the time. And that's the way I conduct business. I can do a lot of things with my word and a handshake. I've been around a long time. I've been doing business in this town 20 plus years, and people know me, and that means something. You know, my word means something here. Uh, Probably couldn't name off one person, maybe one person that could say anything wrong about me in this town. So
Hmm.
I want to take pride in that, and I value that. And when you got a relationship with people like I have, and what I develop when I go out every day, it's it's second to none, and you can't buy that. And that's why I try to tell people you're only as good as how good you are to those people that do business with you. And that's plain
Yeah.
and simple.
Yeah, definitely. Relationships mean a lot, and whether it's friends, family, even customers, like it plays a big role. Um, what kind of advice would you give to somebody who's just starting out a business, who's just starting out, like try or is thinking about starting a business?
Well, my basic thing that I tell everybody is you are your brand. You can buy a nice truck, you can come up with a snazzy name, you can paint a pretty building, whatever you want to do. But if you can't sell yourself, then you have to go back to the drawing board. The reason why I do what I do is because I can sell myself. My work speaks for itself, and my character speaks for itself. When people meet me, they want to work with me. When they see my work, they want that work. The only time people really think about choosing somebody else when it comes to me is when I tell them my price. But you work around that. My biggest advice for somebody starting out is persistence. If you're going to do something, have an ironclad plan, believe in the vision, and really love what you do. If you don't love what you do, you're not going to be successful. Some people just want to jump in business because they want to do a business. I pity those folks, and I tell them reevaluate your plan, you know, and see what you come up with, because I went into what I went into because I was good at everything it took to do a bathroom. Um, then I seen the need for it, and then I started honing my craft, and I built onto that over, the years. But most people wanting to start business, they think about it too much before they pull the trigger. And the worst thing you can do is try to learn how to drive a car that is in park. You have to go to learn. So, like I tell people, I've jumped into businesses and run them a year because I needed to see for myself. Thinking about it and doing statistics don't give you the heartfelt experience. So, my advice to anybody, if you're thinking about it, get your plan together, strike out, make a move, and roll with it. If it don't work, revise the plan, do something else. You only get one life, don't sit and circle around your ideas. Take your ideas, put them to work. Many great men had visions that never lived on them. They seen them, they brushed them to the side, and they live in regret. Um, I've seen it over the years. I've talked and been mentored by several entrepreneurs and people that's done exactly what I'm doing and made it work. And they give me hope and positivity that I can really create something great. So I just stay grinding on that and try to perfect it. Uh, Whatever it takes to sharpen Bathmatic, I'm always about it. I don't spend a bunch of money on the marketing. I do everything myself. Like I said, I'm just a good old boy that is not real good with technology, but I find my way around good enough to make videos, good enough to do social media. I stay on that side of the marketing, and I just do what I say. Over time, people buy my services because they're like, that dude's going to show up, he's going to knock it out, he's going to give you exactly what he says he's going to give it to you, and it is what it is. I smoke cigarettes and I might be a little loud and I might look crazy, you know what I mean? But the product is second to none. And that's what you got to deliver. People know I'm a roughneck and they know how I roll. Uh, so they respect that. And I dig it. I show up and do my thing. Me and the wife, we have a good time. Today, we're working on a project right outside of Uptown. 117-year-old house.
Hmm.
They added an addition onto it, put in a bathroom in there. We come in there yesterday and got the blood test and inspection done. And then today we started setting tile, and the builder, he was there. Everybody's working, everybody's having a good time, and the customer just is in admiration of what's going on. The actual homeowner, they're like, "This is a just well-oiled machine." And I'm like, "Well,
Hmm.
me and the wife, we've been doing this a long time, and we work great together. And she knows what I expect, and I know what she expects, so we don't have any problems." Um, so that's another big thing to me. When people talk about going into business, the first thing they talk about was, I'm going to hire, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to pay for this, I'm going to pay for that. I see guys buying $100,000 trucks, hiring people, taking out loans, running net 30s, net 60 accounts, digging themselves into debt their first year, coming right off the bat with $250,000 worth of debt. And they can't even guarantee that they'll cover a third of that year. That's not financial uh, smartness in my
Right.
mind. It
Yeah.
just looks incompetent to me, and I do everything absolutely opposite. I don't finance anything. If I can't afford it, I'm not buying it. If I need a tool, I'm going and getting it. Um, Training, invest in training. Don't go in debt. See what your money can make, what your business can make as an independent before you launch yourself into an incorporation or limited liability company. See what you can do with a venture before you go setting yourself up to be part of the system. Because it might not work. I see people do it all the time. They dig themselves in a hole and it ruins them for their next big business venture. So that's my biggest advice, Jerry, is just
Yeah.
telling people to really think about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it and what's the most cost effective way to approach to do what you're going to do. You know,
Hmm.
that's the most important to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really good advice there. Definitely. Um, Looking back at your career, what are some setbacks or failures that you went through that you learned from, like that you can share?
Well, that might be a whole nother show, Jerry. uh, well, like I said, 2010, I cut my hand off with a chop saw, and I spiraled into addiction, man. And I spent about 10 years down in
Hmm.
addiction, and in and out of rehab. My marriage up and on the rocks all the time, and my kids growing up, and legal problems. It done a lot to me, so I've been broken and started over. Everything you see with Bathmatic is all new. Uh, you know, since my recovery taking place. Uh, I've got about 3 years and some change in the recovery. So from hard drugs, ruined my life. And what it done is it drove a wedge in my timeline. What I was
Hmm.
supposed to be doing. I was still working and doing everything I'm doing, but I wasn't progressing and elevating like I was expected to. So, uh, some of the heartaches that you go through is what makes you. So, if I would have never experienced the housing market crash 08, 09, um, prepared me as a young man, as a young businessman back then. It was hard for me to do what I was doing because I didn't have any guidance from another entrepreneur that was in my family or anybody. Like, I'm the first one to do anything like this. So it was hard for me and I learned a lot through it, but it honed me in on what I can do now, my skills now. So, like, when I see troubles ahead, I already know what's happening because I've been here before. Um, Recessions and inflation in the economy is going to be something that we all deal with. And don't use that as an excuse. Just grind harder. Find a different part of your market to shine in, and that's my biggest thing. But back to the question, um, what I've really learned through it is persistence and patience will take you places that nobody else will. And if you go through something, just know that that's God teaching you how to embrace the storms that are coming up ahead. It's not why am I going through this? It's why what am I supposed to be learning from this at this
Hmm.
point in time? That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. What were some most like significant turning points in your career? You kind of mentioned one there. Were there any other ones that were like where you pivoted or turned?
Well, yeah, there's been several pivots and turns. When I had to make my mind up to come from a commercial side of the tile industry to a custom residential side of the industry, I had to turn around 180 degrees. The quality of the work had to be better. The atmosphere of the work had to be better. The price had to not double but triple for me to do this, and I had to embrace that growth all the way from my marketing to my personal to my bottom line of what I was doing in my life with family and work life balance. Um, I've spent nights and days on end learning this craft and becoming uh, a reputable contractor and somebody that has the technical data to basically overcome any installation project. If it's spec on a plan, I can take care of it from the technical side of it. There's so many variations in the market from different kinds of materials, to the setting procedures, the methods, the tools. Um, it it was like a day and night. It was like a barber being thrown into um, a surgeon's position at the hospital. And he said, "Yeah, I've been working on heads all my life, cutting them with a clipper and a scissor. But now I got a scalpel and I'm going to cut you open and we're going to work on your brain." You know, that's what tile work was for me. So when I
Hmm.
say that I'm complex and I'm kind of a tile nerd, I'm deep into it. We have the Tile Council of North America. They have the handbook with the NTCA, the North uh, Tile Contractors Association, National Tile Contractors Association, and they work together to write our dynamic code on tile work. So that's my Bible, and I'm always studying in it, and I'm always online learning new methods, helping other guys with their methods, different procedures, different ways to do things. And so turning points has been the technology and the innovation to build a top tier brand like I have.
Hmm.
It took a lot for me to get here because sure, you can sell a job, but if you don't sell the right materials and the right procedures, you're not selling that customer the best quality job that they can get. And I believe in delivering that. So that's why I do what I do.
Yeah. I was going to ask you a follow up question in the earlier question related to you were saying whoever's going into whichever business they're going to start or whatever, they should like love what they're going to be doing or will be doing. Do you find that for yourself that you knew you were going to like what you're going to do, or did you do things and then you found out, oh yeah, I like this, and then you kind of developed the love for what you're doing now?
Well, I've always loved plumbing. I'm a
Okay.
plumber by trade, so I've always loved plumbing. And then when I got in tile, I loved tile the same way. So I knew when I started building bathrooms that I would have the combination of the two and that I would love my job. And then when I started
Hmm.
taking my wife to work every day, I really started loving my job. So it's just been a blessing, man. My cup runneth over.
So is it really that you love those two trades, or is it more like whatever your hand, whatever you do, you're gonna like what you do? What are some things you don't like?
I don't like crawling under houses and crawling in
Okay.
attics, and I don't like paint and sheetrock work. And
Okay.
I can do carpentry work if we got to go. Like if you tell me, hey, I need help on a pergola, I'm building a patio. We're gonna put a kitchen out here. I'm like, yeah, Jerry, I'll come over there and help you. We'll frame that thing up, you know. But carpentry work is, you know, not my favorite thing to do, and you know, I love doing what I do because I have a passion for it, and it's more of an art to me. So,
Yeah.
like I tell people all the time, I'm not a contractor by trade. I'm an artisan by trade. So
Hmm.
I get paid to do things on an artist's level, and take pride in it. So I love it. It's just fulfilling. It's so satisfying. Tile work is
Yeah.
awesome to me.
Yeah. And you mentioned your wife works along with you. What is your kind of work versus so-called life or home life balance? How do you balance that? And you have some children as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we when we get off the job, we talk business, and business talk don't ever stop. The business in our mind does not ever stop. But we've developed a fine line of how to separate. Look, we've accomplished what we're going to accomplish for Bathmatic today. This is the rest of our day right here. And I might do some stuff online, run technical advice, do emails, even go get material or whatever. But she comes home, plays housewife, and you know, we have a great home work life balance. We work one project to the next, so everything revolves around the business, regardless. But we make sure to take our time, and in between projects, we shut everything down, and we're like, hey, we just grinded hard for 2 months. We're going to take 2 weeks off, maybe 3 weeks off. Sometimes we take a whole month. We'll travel for 2 weeks and then come home and sit for a month. It just depends, but it's the freedom for me. It's the freedom, it's the craft, it's the passion, it's getting to do what you get to do to love, and spreading that with other people in the industry, because I've got a dozen younger guys that are getting started, in their early 20s doing what we're doing. And man, there's no doubt in my mind, time they get my age, they'll excel right past the point I'm at already. And I'm so happy for them. And when they call me, man, my heart's full. Like when they call me, hey, man, I've got this going on. I'm building this big shower. What do you think about this that I'm going? Did you see my video I posted on the internet? And I'm like, yeah, I seen your video. You doing a jam up job, man. I love it. Everything about it. If you need anything, just call me back. And that's more satisfying to me than the money. The money's great. Tile money's good. Like I tell everybody, there's very few trades that you're going to go modestly get $100 an hour sitting on your hands and knees. You know what I mean? But you can get it with tile, and sometimes you get double that. But it's
Yeah.
it's been good to me, definitely.
So work life. I think maybe a lot of people have a misconception about it, especially for entrepreneurs. I feel like it's not you don't just do one thing and then do the other thing. It's not like work there and then now you have home time or whatever. To me, it's more like all integrated. There will be moments during the day that you're doing some personal stuff. There will be moments at night that you're doing work stuff. It's going to be all over the place.
It is. It is. And my kids are used to it. Anybody that knows me, my family, when they come by to see me, they know when that phone rings, Jeremy walks out of the room, he's dealing with work. It's just what it is, and I'm
Yeah.
involved in so much between my business, the nonprofits, the training, the company that I work for, the manufacturer. And I find time on my own. Most of my free time is later at night. After the kids has gone to bed, um, everything's done. I get to those times to reflect,
Hmm.
and enjoy myself. So I don't. Everybody worries about me getting burnt out all the time. They're like, Jeremy, you're gonna get burnt out on this. You got your 5 irons in the fire. You're doing too much. And I'm like, look, this is the time in my life that was meant for me to spend uh, beating the ground down and grinding. I'm 37 years old. It's the perfect time right now. My kids are 16, fixing to turn 16 here in December, and 12. So Got
Hmm.
12 and 15-year old, and they're getting to that point where they're doing their own thing. This is my time to grow the brand and advance myself before I turn 40. So trying to do what I'm going to do before 40, and that's always been my mission. And by the grace of God, I'm here, and I believe I'm going to accomplish my mission. The finish line is near, uh, for where I want to be and what I want to do. And once I get there, I'm gonna put this thing on autopilot and I'm gonna let it ride. And I've worked hard to get here, so super proud of it. Super thankful for everything. So when you see me, just know I got the attitude of gratitude for a reason, because I came from, a lot rougher times. Um, to be able to do what I'm doing now is phenomenal in my mind. And I'm just happy to make everybody proud and make it happen. After all I've been through, because a lot of folks didn't think I would make it out of my hardships, either be dead or in prison. uh, I definitely wouldn't be here uh, competing with
Uh,
champions.
yeah, you definitely have a good comeback story. So you're doing well, doing well. What Yeah, what characteristics or qualities helped you to succeed or to get to the point where you are right now?
I just got to say, um, persistence,
Hmm.
patience, those values, those core values, and just believing in my brand and my vision have got me right here. You know, a lot of people told me I was crazy. They're like, man, ain't nobody going to pay you to build those kind of bathrooms. Uh, the average bathroom remodel is between $5,000 and $15,000. They're like, where you figure you're going to get these $50,000, $100,000 remodel? I'm like, there's a market for them. I just got to tap into it. So I never stop, and to finally be getting there, it's fulfilling. But my character is always positive. Um, I'm thankful for every day that I'm given, because, like I said before, I mentioned before, I could have been in a lot better, worse situations than I've been in. And just my gratitude when I wake up in the morning, my energy's on 10, because I'm not in the grave. I'm not in prison. I'm here doing what I love. So I'm
Yeah,
just super thankful for it.
related to this, like the one of the questions is like what motivates you, and it sounds like the answer is in what you were just talking about.
Yeah, well, here lately I found what's motivated me is my brand.
Hmm.
Past couple years, my brand and everything that I've overcame and beaten odds, and knowing that I can't never return back there. That drives me, and seeing the potential element that I can create for my children right
Hmm.
now is it just motivates the hell out of me, and it gives me hope. I see the growth. I've experienced exponential growth um, in the past 20 months, I might say. So, when you go from doing it just like this until you start going like this, that's when you see something. You're like, I finally hit it. I figured it out. Let's ride with it. And that drives me every day, and inspiring others, to be great and to overcome things. When I see that I have inspired somebody, that's better than money in the bank. You know, you could accidentally send me $1,000, and I wouldn't be as excited or happy about that as seeing somebody else pull their self from the darkness back into the light, all because they see me with a shining light and they knew where I come from. So that means so much to me. When I see somebody that can bring their self out of whatever their circumstance is and rise above it, all because I inspired them. Let me tell you, man, that's a better feeling to me than anything on this earth. Um,
Yeah.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I'm here, Jerry. When
Yeah.
you see me at those events and I'm bouncing around with all that energy, it's I feel that inside because
Yeah.
connecting with the kids, seeing my growth, seeing others around me expand themselves. That's what it's all about. You know,
Hmm.
I feel I feel like I'm just doing what I was meant to do. You know, I'm here for the long haul. I tell people in the tile industry, I'm like, y'all better get used to me because I'm never going nowhere. I'm in it to win it. I'm staying. You ain't gonna see me switch it up and put roofs on houses next year. It's not happening. So
Yeah.
yeah, just super thankful for that. And if 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 I can keep winning, anybody can keep winning.
What are some long-term goals that you have, if you don't mind sharing?
Uh, long term goals.
Or aspirations?
Over the past year, we've been calculating um, some more expected growth with Bathmatic and future partnerships, and we're going to be transitioning into a couple different phases, from consulting to designing to a little bit of fabrication, and fitting ourselves to move and transition more into being a one-stop shop for
Hmm.
the consumer who wants a bathroom, but also the local tile installers in town that need a one-stop shop to get what they need to build showers. So, I've weighed my option into stone fabrication, um, other parts of the industry as far as resales and wholesales of a few different products and internet sales and what so have you. And, we're just right now doing some research and development on a few different things that we could do to expand our business. But primarily right now, it's consulting, design, and the education part of it. And as I spoke before, I have taken a technical slash sales representative position with a national manufacturer. So I'll be working part time to fulfill that part of my job. So not only running Bathmatic, but working for Illuminish is going to be taking a part of my time away as well. So once I get the transition process under control, we're going to venture into some things. But long term wise, definitely want to franchise out and put other installers in different parts of the country um, in connection with the right people and affiliate ourselves and move more into a corporate, you know, family business.
Hmm. Yeah, sounds really good. Um, Kind of transitioning to a different topic related to like finances and financials. What are the most important things that you've learned about money and wealth management?
I ain't learned enough yet. I can tell you that. um, I'm horrible with finances, Jerry. Um, I'm not ashamed to say it. My accountant, they're they're sick of me. Um, I could do a lot better on that side of the business, but some things that I've learned about money is, you know, it's just a tool. It's just a tool. It's
Hmm.
it you can use it to grow. You can use it for pleasure. You can use it to secure your future. But one thing you cannot do with it is save it. And if somebody can figure it out, let me know. Bathmatic. You see my phone number. Call me. Let's talk about it. But if I got advice to anybody just learning and getting into the business, um, keep your operating costs and your personal money separate. You know,
Hmm.
it's took me a long time to figure that out, and make sure that you secure some funding for a rainy day. That's the biggest thing. Um, I'm financially irresponsible. Just I'm just gonna flat out say it, and I haven't prepared myself for a lot of hard times, and I've been through hell during those hard times because of it. And
Hmm.
you know, right now my main goal is to save more, scale more, and basically set yourself apart from your finances of your business. Don't you know? Don't execute your level of spending on the level of intake from your business. Keep that separate. Just because the business is doing 20 grand a month doesn't mean that you can have $17,000 worth of personal bills a month. It don't work. And I see a lot of young entrepreneurs making that mistake. I spoke on before. I see a lot of guys coming out of the gate, LLC'd up, uh, 50K from one bank, 100K from another bank, uh, a line of credit here, a line of credit there, and they go out and they can't even make 10 grand a month, but they got all this money going out. So buy your old truck, buy all your tools, go out and make you some money, see where it goes, audit the business, then go do you some paperwork. Trust me, if you get caught by the IRS within your first 6, 7 months of business doing a trial run like this, and you tell them honestly why you done what you done, they're going to be more ample to help you with setting up a successful long-term plan than as if you went and done it wrong. I've never
Hmm.
seen nobody get penalized for taking a trial run of doing something. Get you some insurance, get you an application for an LLC, and go out there and go to work, and see what you can do before you climb into debt. And definitely don't borrow no money until your first year is over. You know, I don't care how bad you need funded. You know, it costs money to play the game. If you want to play the game, you got to know the ins and outs of finances, and that's something that a lot of people don't do. And another thing I see a lot of people doing is trying to provide a service that they don't understand the market value of in their market.
Hmm.
So when you are misconcepted on what you're supposed to charge, how do you market your business? You don't. you know.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
my biggest thing of advice is if you're going to get into something, you know, like if somebody wants to get into building showers, call me. I'll tell you what it's about. I'll help you. You know, you can't compete with me because my mind and my image sells who I am. So even if you do take a job out from under me, I've got 10 more jobs, people waiting to hire me. It ain't going to hurt me. I can help. If my neighbor was building tile showers, I would still train them because that's what Jesus would do.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. How do you stay up to date with information that you need, and how do you like continuously learn?
Well, I'm fortunate in my training in the industry. The training is in abundance, and I travel to do it. People ask me all the time, Jeremy, how do you afford to be traveling all the time? Every time I see you on Facebook, you're traveling. I said, dude, I can't afford not to go to that training. My business needs this. When you're a crafts person and you're doing things, different businesses differ vary. Uh, Depending on what you're doing, you can only make more money by learning new skills. You know,
Hmm.
if you're in the trucking business, you could just buy another truck and hire another driver, and you make more revenue, more income. Um, with me, I can't do that. The only way I make more money is if I go learn something new, that I can do something bigger and better. You know, and I believe in that. So it, I stick to my training with the NTCA and anything available from any manufacturer. We also have the CTEF, Ceramic Tile Education Foundation, down in South Carolina, and you can go down there and get all the education on tile you want. The NTCA provides training online and on in person, so you'll see NTCA workshops at various distributors and suppliers throughout your area. You just go on the website and
Hmm.
find them. So between online and going to trainings, I'm always learning. Uh, when manufacturers are coming out with new stuff, I'm always learning. Trade shows, going to trade shows are beneficial, very important for your business. Um, like like my recommendation for your business would be Mr. Jerry needs to be down there at that landscaping expo every year and have him booth down there and have
Hmm.
somebody watching it. And while they watching your booth, you be out learning from the other people that's in that outdoor living game. You know, I'm I'm a big advocate of learning, and back to what you're doing. Many years ago, I'll go ahead and call him out on here. John with Fun Door Outdoor Living. Um, you know, they're great people. I worked with them, done some projects with them, helped them along the way. And one thing I learned from those guys is when they come into the game, they went to every builder, everybody that was doing that genre of work, and they made a connection with them. And then they started expanding and selling the hot tubs and the patio furniture and all that stuff. So it was second to nature that they could go ahead and start supplying everybody in town because they had the
Hmm.
connection with everybody. You might know them, you might have done business with them. Uh, they're great people. They network. You can't make it in the contracting business without networking. If you're not learning, you're not growing, you're not networking, you're not going nowhere. Just because you want to do something is cool, but when 200 people across the country are doing it too, and you're doing it, y'all are on to something. So whenever trends come, I follow. Whenever somebody jumps on a bandwagon, I follow it. Um, because as a scale across the United States, it's monkey see, monkey do. So you just got to get in line and know what sells. Showers are up and down, tiles up and down all the time. Um, People change directions with the design and styles and colors, and they call them fads. That's going to be in style, and that's going to be out of style, or that ain't going to be in style long. That's just the thing that's coming through. So always keep up with that. And the way to keep up with that is this great tool we have called the internet. So, you know, the resources are out there. All you got to do is just link in and with what you got going on and be proactive with it, and stay on top of it. I'm online every day. People in the tile industry, they probably sick of seeing me because for the past 3, 4 years, I'm just beating the block down all the time. I make videos. You're my friend on Facebook, Instagram. You see what I do. Um, I don't do it to say, "Hey, look at me." I do it to stay active and just to let everybody know that guy in North Carolina, he's down there grinding. If he can do it, we can do it. We need to get out here and sell us some work and get back to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely important, the networking and continuously learning new things. It helps a ton. How about like as far as like when you face problems within the business or even personal life, how do you approach the problem solving and kind of critical thinking around like what's the root cause and all of that? Like how do you approach issues and how do you come up with solutions to those issues?
Well, I'm always, I've always been a problem solver and a self starter, so that is kind of where I worked out good in the business. Um, my first, you know, thing to dealing with problems is your temper. You know, don't don't let things upset you. You know, it's just a job. It's just a problem. It might affect your livelihood, but that's how you grow. My biggest thing is just understanding that I'm an evolution of all of my mistakes. So every mistake that I make, it was meant to put me through a process of where I could see growth. Um, my biggest thing to everybody is just evaluate your problems. A lot of times our problems aren't as great as we assess them as. So just approach everything with caution. Use temperament, and use it to excel. Don't don't reflect on it and let it be a negative to you. Let it be a positive and embrace it. It's my biggest thing. But then again, like your resources now, vice versa, 50 years ago, if you had say facing them same problems, you've got a 10 times better chance of solving it nowadays with the resources we have than a contractor going through troubles in 1980, where they had no internet, no Google. You had to go to the library if you wanted to find it, or you better hope the local code inspector was going to educate you, or whatever, you know. So I think we all have a benefit of having the internet and all these tools at our fingertips.
Yeah, yeah. So kind of going back, you mentioned again, your wife is with you in the business. How do you maintain strong and fulfilling relationships with your family, like with your wife, with your children, parents, siblings, and so on?
Well, like I tell everybody all the time, I'm always apologizing for being absent, and not returning phone calls. Family wise, a lot of my not outer family, they don't understand what I'm trying to accomplish because they've never done it. They've never seen nobody do it. They don't understand why Jeremy stayed grinding all the time and stays working. And they see that I'm building something, but they don't quite understand what my end game is. And a lot of small minded people are never going to realize what you're set out to do unless they have the same vision. And that's what's unique about my vision. Nobody's got this same vision. So I handle that in a different way. As far as my wife and my children, my boys, they understand what I'm doing and what I'm growing right now. And they're very respectful and mannerable to that. And they know that dad loves them, but dad's busy. They know that I take time to do the things that we need to do. With my wife and I, we work together all the time. So, I've seen, deflection in the past few years of the time that we spend just on our quality standards as a husband and a wife. and we kind of combine those and tailor those together. We are a husband and wife duo, but about 85% of our conversations are work related. So we make sure to keep it a standard to speak to each other out of work topics and be cordial in a significant percentage of every day. Regardless, um, you know, I take a couple minutes to shoot the shit with her outside of work because it's important that I'm not so serious all day long. I've got to break the ice and be the funny guy or be the fun loving husband, you know, every now and then. It can't all be about work. And, you just, you got to build it and make it fit your life. There's no real outline of how to do this. A lot of people that would try to do what I'm doing, they would end up divorced. You know, uh, Me and Jennifer, we've been through so much. We've been together about 18 years, 19 years, somewhere around there. So we've been together a long time. So we know exactly how to work together. And our relationships actually become better while we're working together. So you don't take that, well, you've been gone all day. I hadn't seen you. Come in here and sit down and talk to me. She's like, Jeremy, go away. I've been with you all day. I'll talk to you in the morning. And it's cool because, we don't argue. We don't fuss at work. We have fun. I pick on her. She picks on me. You know, it's healthy, as far as I can see. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have it any other way. If she quit working with me tomorrow, I'd close up shop.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. No, that's really good to find that life partner that it's not just she's not just your wife, but she's your partner in every way, like in business as well. It brings a whole different dynamic to life, definitely. Um, what are some lessons that you've learned from relationships, whether it's husband wife relationship, friends, kids, parents, whoever? Like what lessons have you learned through relationships? Maybe there were some bad things, good things, whatever it is.
One main thing I believe in about relationships is you only gonna get what you put in.
Hmm.
So it's important that you're putting in what you want to receive out of it, and you're equal to what you're getting. So I've learned when I give less in the past, I've received less. So the more I give, the better I get, and communication is the key. And I don't keep nothing on my chest. If I feel some type of way, I'm going to tell you. A lot of men tell me that I'm aggressive, that I'm overreactive because the way that I'll approach. If I got something wrong with you, I'll pull you to the side and say, "Hey, Jerry, come here a minute. I got to tell you something." You know what I mean? And then we handle that. And a lot of people don't operate that way, and a lot of people don't express their feelings, and that's where you get bad terminal relationships where
Hmm.
uh, things are not communicated. People don't understand what the other party is portraying. So keep it 100 with everybody. Be sincere. Speak from the heart. Don't hold nothing back. Don't sugarcoat nothing. We all adults. We all grown ups. And man, the world is changing. People, they, they they've heard bad stories. They've seen it. If you got something, just be real about it. I tell everybody, I'm like, you want to throw rocks, we throw rocks. You know what I mean? You want to pass loaves, we'll pass loaves. It's a thing of unity. As people, we need to show more love and less tension and less fusion, and let our hearts become one instead of our physical attributions colliding together. As human beings, we've evolved a long way, um, and I see things changing. Um, the past few years as far as the way um, people communicate and the
Hmm.
expectations that folks have of one another. Um, you know, everybody ain't like us, Jerry.
You think technology had a great effect in the way people communicate? Is that what you were kind of alluding to, or you mean something else?
Well, yeah, with technology and the economy and everything that's going on, overseas
Hmm.
and in the world, just with since COVID, people are people have changed, and we need to work on our communication and we need to
Hmm.
work on our transparency and show people who you are, tell people how you feel, and when you show up, show people what you your projection is. You know, um, people can read a lot from you about your character. You know, um, you see it a lot, and over the past 2 3 years, things is changing where folks they don't know how to communicate anymore. That's all I'm saying. Uh,
Hmm.
I play a little bit with technology, but that ain't what all it is. It's just people in general, then what they've gone through and the trials and tribulations that's been at hand the past few years.
Yeah. So is it more like everybody's just tending to be to themselves? They just want to like isolate themselves more instead of like get together in community and that kind of thing, or
Exactly. You see more independence. You see people more standoffish. More people, resorting to alone time instead of social activities and whatnot. Um, but you know, more more so since COVID to now.
Hmm.
But I that ain't changed me a bit. I'm still out there. I'm still the same guy. I'm still talking. I'm still selling. I'm still helping. I'm still preaching. Everything's the same. Still the same old Jeremy.
so when it comes to faith, how is faith integrated in your life, or what does it have effect on you, or like how does it have effect on you?
Oh, my faith is everything, Jerry. I was, I've, I've believed, since I was a little boy, and I've, I've been through so many hardships that my faith is the only thing that's kept me sanity. And I believe, you know, that my days are going to be good before they even happen. You know, some folks call it manifesting, some people call it believing. I believe in it. So I set out to conquer each day with virtue, and I do so. So it's one of those things like, and I've seen over over a span of lifetimes, I've seen trials that were meant to break me that God's brought me through. So I'm a firm believer in a man's faith should be strong if he's going to be in the business. You know, I believe that. You know, or you might scratch the hair off the top of your head.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of trials, a lot of stress that can come along, like being an entrepreneur or trying to do new things, or new to you at least. Um, yeah. Um, how do you balance your spiritual life with your professional and personal commitments?
So I'm a I'm not a religious person. I feel I'm a spiritual person. Um, Christianity and religion is more of a thing, might say, than versus my spirit and my spirituality and what I believe. So w- when I work, I'm diligent and I'm prosperous and I shine. my light shines and people see it. So, and I just tell them, I'm thankful. God give me this day. They said, well, how do you know God give it to you? I said, well, somebody somebody created all this, and it sure wasn't me. So, for for now, that's the way it is. And you'll find a lot of atheism in the world. It's becoming more and more now today than it was when I was a kid, and I run across it all the time. I don't let it affect me. I believe in God, and that's the end of the line. Um, so I don't argue with religion with people. I don't do religion. I don't do politics in my place of business. I don't talk about it. Um, what I feel and what you feel is really it don't matter. It's irrelevant. So I don't focus on those points.
Hmm. When it comes to like physical improvement, like taking care of your body, are there like certain workouts you do, certain diets you're on, or anything like that? Like how do you take care of your body?
I'm just living for the day, Jerry. I eat whatever I want and do whatever I want, and just pray I don't gain too much weight. And I don't, I try to stay in good shape, but I've definitely lost track of exercising and want to prioritize that more in the upcoming year to prioritize my health and getting a fitness plan in place and start doing some, working out, keeping myself in shape. Like I said before, I'll be 40 years old for too long. I just I gotta make the best of it. But right now, I ain't doing too much.
Okay. Um, when it comes to social life, like community and social groups and so on, I mean, one thing you're helping out with is put tools in school. What other kind of social things are you involved in?
Well, is outside of the industry, I'm not really involved in anything other than put tools in schools, the NTCA, my business, and my job working as technical representative for Illumination. Um,
Hmm.
you know, my wife and I, we don't really partake in social events that much. We spend time with the family, and kids play sports, and we're active with all that. And I really don't, I don't, I don't participate much. It's past 5 years just been basically living a dream, and traveling, going to all these trainings, all these events, trade shows, you know, product introductions, artisan trainings, um, and that's really all the social events that we do. We vacation and do all that good stuff. But yeah, it's I ain't on no pool league or no bowling team. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't go to the
yeah,
local pub in town and sit with my buddies in the evenings or none of that. That's just I'm a family man and businessman, and that consumes my life.
Yeah. So for those who may not be aware of like put tools in school, do you want to give a quick kind of intro or definition of it or that kind of thing?
Sure. Put tools in schools is an awareness that we have here in Charlotte, North Carolina, for basically career advantages in the high school trades market. So we want to show kids the capabilities of the trades, and we want to raise awareness to the school systems, how important it is for them to have tools and shop class back in schools. So we're just kind of advocates. We're just tools and mouthpieces to convince a greater power of what they took away from school that they need to restore. and I love everything about it. I'm new to it. It's a new venture to me. Super excited for the future of it. Um, it's going to grow into something great. And like I said before, the feeling of engaging those kids is better than any high or any feeling that I've ever felt. You know, it's really euphoric for me to go in there and see their eyes light up and show interest in something that might make them a lot of money one day. You never know. So it's a way of giving back, and it's a resemblance of who I am and my vision and what I have to offer, and doing it with great folks like yourself. It just makes it all better. It really is a movement, and I'm super proud of all of us. And everybody that stepped up to make it happen. Big thank you to you, Jerry, for all you're doing, and stepping out there out of your element and getting involved in something like this is I see you and I appreciate you and I admire you for doing it, and
Thank you.
you ain't no big company.
No, I know.
You're just like I am. We're we
Yep.
I think we're the smallest guys in the organization. And the other guys that are there, they're making money to be there. They're getting paid to be there by their boss. We are the boss, and I'm not paying myself to go. I don't know if you're paying yourself, but I ain't got no
Yeah.
check yet. But
Right.
it's fulfilling, and 10, 15, 20 years later, you and I, we're gonna be old guys. We're gonna be looking back on this and saying, "Hey, I'm glad we done that." Look at what we created, and it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it,
Yeah.
Jerry. I believe in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and just for info for the audience, Put Tools in School was started by Ray Terry. He has a radio show about your house, and we'll put, or I'll put some links down for that. But Jeremy, for you, for yourself, Bathmatic, you want to talk a little bit more about what you offer? Just kind of do like a self promo if you'd like.
Yeah, well, Bathmatic Custom Tile and Shower is a premier remodeling company. We specialize in tile showers, um, luxury bath spaces. So, I might not be your tile guy for a backsplash or a foyer or entryway floor. We do offer those services, but we specialize in bathrooms. And you can check us out on Google, social media, Facebook, Instagram, all that. I'm not a TikTok dialer, so I'm not on there. Um, I have a tile group with about 300, maybe 320 local North Carolina installers called Carolina Tile Posse. You'll see that emblem right up here, the one that's on the side of my shirt here. That's our
Hmm.
logo for Carolina Tile Posse. You can also check out this link, the NTCA up there, and National Tile Contractors Association, and vet your contractors and know who you're hiring before you get into a project with someone who's incompetent. I'm local to the Charlotte, North Carolina area, based in Gastonia, travel and cover Lake Norman, Lake Wiley, Cleveland County, uh, Cabarrus County, Rowan County, all these surrounding areas, Mecklenburg, uh, consultations for current and future projects, bathroom projects are provided, design services, and basically, if you want to know anything about a tile shower, reach out to me. 704 Bathmatic Custom Tile and Shower on all social medias. Check us out. Leave a Google review. Go on, check out our work. I'm always posting footage and content of everything that I do. So if you want to know who you're getting before you hire me, check me out. I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm who I am. I'm right here, and I appreciate everybody watching and tuning into this. And most important thing I can say is if you're in the business, getting in the business, persistence, patience is going to carry you a long way. So you can't figure out if you want to do it within 6 months or a year. It takes you about 5 years. So can't learn how to drive and park. Get out there and make it happen. You'll make it. I believe in you. Stay grinding.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Jeremy, for joining, and I'm sure we'll talk again in the future. So, yeah,